Welcome back to Retro Life for You, the podcast that digs deep into the movies that defined our generation. Today, we're heading back to 1998 to a small town high school where something's definitely off. The teachers are acting strange, the football coach has gone full drill sergeant from hell, and the nurse looks like she just hasn't slept in weeks. Students are disappearing, attitudes are changing, and it's not because of finals, it's because the faculty isn't human anymore. From the
At the
director,
30, I'm sorry.
no, go
My
ahead.
bad. Welcome to Retro Life for You. Of course, I'm going to interrupt Chris and ruin the intro. I was just going to add, and the nerdy hot teacher. The
The nerdy hot teacher. You,
yeah, I was telling Tasha, I had Tasha watching it with me. I was like, look at there,
oh,
baby. But I
Famke
forgot how in
Janssen.
love with Famke Janssen I've always been. I said, look, they tried to ugly her up and made her the nerdy teacher, and they just couldn't do it.
I was stopping thinking, what does he mean by the
Even
nerdy
hotter.
hot teacher? The nerdy hot teacher. Who? Oh, Famke Janssen. Okay. Yes, I knew that.
Sorry, back to the intro.
And yes, leave it to Travis to once again every week jack up the intro like he always does. Thanks a lot, Travis. Now I've lost my place. I don't know where I was. I just don't know if I can continue this week.
I got it. The teachers are acting strange. The football coaches go.
I've already read that. You're reading what I've already read, sir. Listen.
Cut
From the director,
from the heartbeat sound mixed with alien screecher whisper.
where are you looking?
I'm making it more entertaining.
Oh my gosh! From the director from Dusk Till Dawn and the writer who redefines 90s horror with Scream comes a sci-fi teen nightmare that asks the questions: what if your teachers really were from another planet?
Yeah, and what I was reading,
leave it at that.
Yeah, and what I was reading was production notes in case we're talking about, upping our game and stuff. Those are production notes in case we were to add sound effects, because welcome to the kickoff show of our Halloween extravaganza all month long. We're doing scary movies again.
See, Travis just doesn't understand the order of things here. He doesn't understand that you go to the intro before you hit the production notes.
Yep.
But
you're not supposed to read the production notes out loud either.
ADHD. Squirrel.
You don't read the dots, Dale.
Squirrel. dot.
You brain, you genius. The show's falling apart. They're gonna love
we're already off the rails, man. Marty, where are you at? We need you, man. Where are you at?
Marty, save us.
Pre-production notes. We're not even going to go there right now.
Marty, one Kenobi, you're our only hope.
The Faculty from 1998. This was a Travis pick. Very good pick. I remember this movie when I first saw it. Saw it to theaters. Travis, see it theaters or on a rental?
Honestly, I don't remember. My first wife and I were dating at the time. It's very possible that I could have seen this in a theater. I may have seen this in a theater, but I don't recall. And I've seen it 6-8 times, so I really don't remember my first watch of it. I do remember I loved it, and I always have, and I enjoyed rewatching it for the show today, and star-studded and so good. And I was laughing and cutting up and having fun with it too, because I was making fun of Jordana Brewster being in the Fast and Furious.
Do you know what
I was telling Tasha, I said, look, because she don't like. So my wife doesn't like scary movies at all. So I almost tricked her into watching it. She watched a lot of it. But the opening scene, which I think is great. So anyway, Lilith from Cheers, she's like, I said, baby, you know who that is? And she's like, oh, I know her. I do know her. And she's trying to remember. And I said, her name's Lilith. And she's like, okay, I remember that. I said, you remember the show? Cheers. She's like, oh, yeah, Fraser's girlfriend. I said, yeah. And then Coach, she goes, well, I know him. That's the bad guy from the Terminator. And I was like, yes, I'm so proud of you. But anyway, everybody, how the opening credits to the movie is pretty good. It kind of shows you everybody right there in the beginning.
Yeah.
And I was like, So there's Baggins. We hate Bagginses.
Hobbitses.
Oh man.
Oh, I was gonna say that this kind of reminds me of, and I don't mean the movie reminds me of this other movie, but the casting reminds me of casting in The Outsiders.
Yeah, yeah.
Stars.
And yeah, and they were young. They were young. I mean, most of them. It's fairly early in their careers. Not the great. I mean, not like Selma Hayek, and we had some heavy hitters in there. Robert Patrick.
Well, you had to have some.
Usher was already huge. He's been singing since he was 12, and daggum Jon Stewart. He was already big on the Daily Show.
But here we go with Josh Hartnett, Elijah Wood, Jordana Brewster, Clea Duvall,
and Shooter McGavin.
Shooter McGavin. Shooter. Yes.
But yeah, I feel what you're saying though. Yeah, these were a lot of young stars. You know what I mean? Like that people.
Hold up. For those that don't know who Shooter McGavin is, what his name is, it's Christopher McDonald. So
my bad. Yeah, if you don't know who Shooter McGavin is, you need to go watch some Happy Gilmore, right?
That's right.
After you listen to the show.
I believe that jacket belongs to Mr. Gilmore.
But yeah, it's a fun. This is a fun one, man. This is a fun one. Well, let's get into it. Just tell them what it's about, I guess. Or did we already? Really?
No, we have not really told exactly what it's about, but that's a pretty easy thing to do, I would believe. So the movie itself, let's see, students. Well, yeah, we kind of told what it's about in a sense.
My wife, I'll tell you what. Well, we'll keep going like we're going. I feel like we're being entertaining for, you know what I mean? I thought kind of being a little entertaining here the way we're going about it. The chaos is fun, but my wife.
But we still told them what it's about though already. We said the teachers are changing; they're going crazy. Let's just add one more thing to it before we get another one. It's basically you've got a parasitic,
aquatic life form.
A parasitic aquatic life form that is taking over the teachers' bodies and basically living off that host. So this is kind of like a cross between Invasion of the Body Snatchers, I guess, and what was the other movie they mentioned?
Which Stokely, it wasn't movies, it was books.
Books, there you go.
Because Stokely was reading the books, and I do not recall if when them ADD moments, if we hadn't been talking about it, I could have repeated it.
Squirrel.
But yeah, it actually came before Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and she said that Invasion of the Body Snatchers was actually a ripoff of that book.
Right.
But
and the first book was about parasites, not
not pods. Yep. So my wife compared it to something else too, which I thought was actually really awesome because she originally thought Stokely was from this movie, and I feel like she was kind of spot on with the analogy or the comparison. It's kind of like almost like if Breakfast Club was a horror movie.
There you go.
She originally thought Stokely was the girl from Breakfast Club, which I could see that.
Let me guess. She thought she was Ali Sheedy.
Yeah. Then again, so I didn't have to correct her, but she said, "No, she's not old enough. Then is she?" And I said, "No,
no, not quite."
Yeah, she would have been playing with her teachers in this movie.
Right. Well, let's go ahead and just kind of jump into the cast a little bit. We kind of gave you a brief synopsis of the movie. Parasitic aquatic life forms taking over the teachers' bodies. They're trying to assimilate the whole town, if you will. And
we dropped a few names, but we hadn't really told you who they were.
Right. So I mean, we'll go into a few of them here, a little more in depth. I guess we'll just at least give you some names and some previous things that they've done. But
you want to go kind of in order of how we're going to kind of top down, or we're going to try to go from. Because they're all I feel like of equal fame.
Yeah, you're on IMDb with me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go ahead and start from the top. You got Jordana
International Movie Database. We'll give them a plug. They don't pay us any money. It'd be awesome if it did.
So it'd be nice. They were 100% correct all the time too, but they're not.
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you what, they are the most consistently correct.
That they are. Sure. That they are. This Jordana Brewster, which we know, being as of Fast and Furious fame.
Yeah, Letty. No, she wasn't Letty. She was Letty. Letty was a girlfriend. She was
Tom's sister.
Mia. She was Mia.
Yeah, right. Tom's sister Mia. So best known for Fast and Furious. Now, she's been in other things as well, but I mean,
Yeah.
If we're trying to think of the main thing we've seen her from, I would say Fast and the Furious would be the main thing that we would talk about.
And
that
I
we
would
remember
think,
seeing her
I
from.
think that this is the first thing I remember her from, where I knew that's where I saw her.
Do you know she's also in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the beginning, I think it's called.
Yes, but that was well after this movie.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm just talking about things that she's been in since. I mean, what she's known for today, at least.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah, this is because
Faculty,
we were
Fast and
talking
Furious.
about how this kind of set off a lot of their careers, at least, or at least some of them.
Yeah, yeah, and she was in the new the remake of Dallas.
Yeah,
a lot of people watch that. I think
you ever watched the TV show Chuck?
A little bit here and there.
She was in about 4 or 5 episodes of Chuck. I forget which season it was. Dr. Jill Roberts.
And she was in. She was also in. She was Maureen in the Lethal Weapon TV series, which I thought was really good.
See, I never got into that. Never watched it.
I thought it was really good, but I haven't finished it to where Sean Clark, is that his name? Stifler?
Yeah, Sean William Scott.
Sean William Scott. I hadn't seen it to where he comes in yet. I got off of it, but yeah, I like that show.
Now, before her Fast and Furious fame, she was pretty much well known in soap operas As the World Turns.
Yeah.
She did 118 episodes of As the World Turns. She played Nikki Munson, Danny Munson, and Nikki Graves, it says. Now, I know nothing about that soap opera. Never watched it in my life.
No, as we discussed, I think it was last episode. We were a Days of Our Lives in Another World children.
Yeah, we were NBC soap operas.
Yeah, it's funny too because I know a lot of people who know those are, but it's mostly girls. Most of the guys that I know, mamas watch like General Hospital and All My Children and some other one.
And let me correct myself.
As the World Turns.
Let me correct myself real quick. The Faculty was in 98. As the World Turns started. Well, no, I'm recorrecting.
As the World Turns started in 85.
Yeah, she was in 85 to 2001. So she was actually doing As the World Turns as she did The Faculty.
Yeah,
she was kind of doing the soap opera.
Yeah, she grew up on there. She started out as a kid.
And the only other movie I really remember her from was Debs. You remember Debs?
I don't know if I saw that one.
DEBS, D.E. It stands for something.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that.
I've seen it.
I will watch that. That's a spy girl movie, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. Definitely.
Oh, that looks hilarious.
Yeah,
they're crime fighting hotties with kiddo bodies.
Right. You see who else is in it with her?
Plaid-skirted schoolgirls are groomed by a secret government agent to become the newest members of a national elite defense group called Debs. Sarah Foster, Jordana Brewster, Devin Aoki. Oh, I know her.
Yeah, she's from Fast
she
and
was
Furious
in Fast and Furious too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jill Ritchie and Megan Good.
Yeah.
Basically. Oh, Michael Clark Duncan was in there as Mr. Phipps. Cool.
I've seen it once. It's a decent watch. I mean,
I might have to check it out.
I wouldn't brag about it, but it's
in this movie, she's basically the which this was a weird combination for me because so she was the head cheerleader and she was head of the school paper.
Right. That's
those two things don't go together. Because so my man was all right. So let's get into this one then. So hang on. So we're gonna tie these two together instead of going in order. Because of what I'm about to say. So Sean Hattosi, I don't remember anything else I've seen him in. I don't know him by looking like. Yes, I do. He plays a military guy in something that was huge. Who is he? Who is this guy? Anyway, he plays Stan.
Okay, so it wasn't Southland you're thinking of. That's something else, I believe.
I remember him from the Lazarus Project. Alpha Dog. I remember him from.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember him from Alpha Dog for sure. And he was Mitch in John Q, which is, if y'all haven't seen John Q,
that was good.
Look, you need a good cry. Go watch John Q. Everybody needs a good cry, man.
John Q was a good movie.
John Q's a good movie, boy. But yeah, definitely remember from Alpha Dog. That's an underrated movie you should go watch. We're not going to be covering it until next till 2030 or something because it was in 2006. But Lazarus Project, Agent John Madala in Public Enemies. Okay, he was in Bad Lieutenant. So yeah, he's been in some. Yeah, okay, I remember from some stuff. Longmire, I think that was a TV show, wasn't it?
That was a TV series, yes.
Yeah, Fear the Walking Dead. Yeah, okay.
He's done quite a bit of television.
Yeah, he does a lot of TV. Yeah, so he's a star quarterback, and Jordana Brewster is the star or the cheer captain. So he decides he's going to quit the football team because the coach is, like I said, a coach from hell. He's on his tail all the time, and he's like, he told a story in there where he's like, he wants to be a regular guy because he worked really hard and he got a D on a test, and they gave him.
I worked hard for that D. I deserve that D.
Yeah, he said they gave him an A. They bumped him up to an A because his arm deserves an A, and he's like, I worked really hard. That was my D. I deserve a D. Like I earned that D. So, but the story, the gist of it was he wanted to be normal. He just wanted to be treated for him. Well, when he started telling her that, she basically was like, okay, well, then I guess we're breaking up because the head, what was it? She said the captain of the cheer team and dates the star quarterback. That's how the society works. That's our social standing. So she basically just told him, well, if that's what you're doing, I ain't got time for you.
But yet she's also the head of the school paper, which is
totally opposite of that.
Right, and she wanted nothing to do with Mr. Frodo Baggins at all, did she? Mr. Elijah Wood, who was helping with that paper as well, although he would kind of make compliments to her.
I don't know though, because when they were in there and he told her she could be really cool when she wasn't being a class grade A bitch. Yeah, she was like, "Are you flirting with me?"
Yeah.
He said, "Maybe, but not right now."
But then it's like at the end of the movie, they flip flop, right? She ends up, all about being with the little hobbit.
Yeah, but was it still superficial because he became a superstar?
Right. Makes you wonder. Makes you wonder.
And then we got Stokely, Clea Duvall.
Clea Duvall. Yep.
Stokely was the goth girl, I guess. So we got the jock and the cheerleader who's also doubling as the head, of the newspaper, which is weird. So she don't fall into the nerdy category at all. Head of the newspaper is usually the nerdy girl. I don't think we had a nerdy girl in this one, really, except for the teacher.
Right.
But we had a goth girl, and she got accused of being a lesbian all the time. Turned out she wasn't. They kind of sold that a little bit, though, I feel like. You know what I mean? Like there at the beginning.
Yeah, well, she had said that was a story that she made up as a cover to get people to stay away from her and leave her alone because she didn't want to be around people.
Right. And see, the first time that I saw this, I do recall the first time I saw this, that kind of threw me off. I'm like, she's lying. Because she, in class, before that, she kind of turned around and gave Mary Beth that look. You know what I mean? So before she even got accused of being lesbian, she's like, uh-oh, she's got the hots for Mary Beth. But I remember her, she was Misty and all that. The biggest thing I remember her from probably is she was Bashira and Ghost of Mars, and then Lizzie Borden. She was in two different Lizzie Borden things.
She was Jana and Can't Hardly Wait.
Huh?
She was Jana and Can't Hardly Wait.
Jana and Can't Hardly Wait. There we go. Yeah. Y'all excuse my phlegm tonight. I've got a lot of allergies going on. I'm doing a lot of coughing and clearing my throat. And two, so I'm going to fill this little bit of silence we got right here because I think Christopher is in deep thought. He's looking at his screen hard.
I was looking at, I'm here with you. I was looking at this other thing on here that she was in. I didn't know.
Well, I was going to say one of the listeners, Marty in particular, was wondering what the heck I was looking at in one of the videos. Sometimes I don't have my double screen, my double monitor set up. So I just plug my HDMI into my TV that's on my wall, and I don't call it the man cave. I call it my dragon den because it's where I keep all my treasures. But
Smog.
Smog. I've got a 72-inch TV on my wall, and that's my secondary monitor. So I'm like, if y'all wondering what I'm looking up in the sky at.
And if you want to find things like this out, just go to the videos like Marty did, make a comment on the YouTube video. What's Travis looking at anyway?
Yeah.
And then,
or why is he not wearing a t-shirt? Why is he ain't got a shirt on? What kind of show is this? That only happened once.
Why is he trying to scare off listeners when he should be bringing listeners in?
Trying to show off my
a
couple of really nice tattoos, and then the couple of ones that I did myself with a guitar string and a VCR motor.
So why was it that episode when you had no shirt on, we kept hearing Right Said Fred in the background singing?
Yeah, that was on purpose. I was trying, you know what I mean? I was just trying to, I'm always trying different things. I'm always trying to see what's going to work with our entertainment. You know what I mean?
How many people do you think are going to get that comment about Right Said Fred?
Only the ones our age. Oh, you know what? She was also in one of my favorite horror TV shows too. In 24 episodes, she plays Sophie in Carnival.
I did not know she was in The Grudge. I don't remember a lot about The Grudge because I tried not to look at it too much. I kept turning my head away.
Yeah, she was. I forgot.
Hey, we just talked about this last week, and we were talking about the House on Haunted Hill. We talked about the creepiness of The Grudge.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, The Grudge is the only horror movie. Now I went back and watched it, but The Grudge is the only horror movie that I've turned off and stopped watching. I was watching it alone. These days I have to watch all my scary movies alone. I was being whiny about it with Tasha. She's like, "Oh," I was like, "Well, since my daughter's fiance absolutely hates scary movies too, so me and my daughter don't have scary movie time much anymore, and she's the only person in the house that even watches them with me. So most of the time, I'm on the house. I'm in a room by myself watching scary movies. My wife doesn't understand it because I'll fall asleep with. I'll be in here sleeping with like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre on, and they're all like, "How in the heck?" But yeah,
because you're weird. That's why.
Yeah, I actually not recently. I mean, when it first came out back in the day, yeah, I turned The Grudge off. I'm like, dude, nah.
I'd fall asleep to what again? Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, I'll sleep with anything on.
You and Brian from Three Cousins would get along very well. Then that's him. That is his favorite horror movie was Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, dude, it's in my top 3 probably.
He would prefer Leatherface
over.
He'd prefer Leatherface over Freddy Krueger. I don't know. You know, to me that's a little bit wrong, but you know, Brian, if you're listening, you're wrong anyway. So
there's no right or wrong. There's no right or wrong with horror.
I know.
But so for me, like as far as my favorite bad guy, I guess goes, and in a franchise, the only person that beats Leatherface for me is Pinhead. I'm a Hellraiser guy, but him and Leatherface are like neck and neck. I love all the Chainsaw Massacre movies. I call him Chainsaw Charlie. That's the only one that ever gave my daughter the willies too. That's the only one she won't watch. Because when they were living, so it's a funny story. We'll go off on a quick tangent. Funny story. My daughter grew up in Greenville. We're not talking about the big city. It's not like Atlanta or Dallas or nothing, but Greenville is not a small place. And she grew up in the rough side of the city, you know, where her mom and daddy grew up. And so anyway, as you can imagine, you know, versus me living out here in the mountains, if I hear a chainsaw at night, I ain't really thinking too much about it. She hears a chainsaw at night, she freaks out. So it's like at 9 o'clock at night and a chainsaw cranks up outside her bedroom window. But she's in a town. I mean, she's, you know, I could throw a football through the neighbor's kitchen window from the back porch, you know. Somebody was trying to cut a limb had fallen in the driveway at Mr. and Miss Thomas's, the next door neighbors, and Mr. Thomas got out there and crunk up the chainsaw to cut it out so they could get to work the next morning. And she had just watched the Chainsaw Massacre like earlier that week with me for the first time, and she went home and the chainsaw cranks up a chainsaw outside a window by 10 o'clock at night. She's like,
Shame.
The weekend after she watches this movie with me, she's like, Daddy, I'm not watching no more of them movies.
Had enough of that. Laura Harris played Mary Beth. She was the new girl in town.
And honest to God, I watch so many movies where people do a fake country bumpkin accent.
Yeah.
And now it was a little, okay, I'm from here, so maybe it wasn't, I don't know, but to my ears, it was a little bit exaggerated, but she had one of the best Georgia accents I've heard in a movie from somebody who wasn't from there. You want to hear a real Southern accent? Go watch an Andy McDowell movie when she was young. That's how we talk.
Well, they can listen to you right now. I mean, it's
because you can ask anybody that's ever moved here. Like my neighbors from California, they said that I'm my own thing. They said nobody. They said no. They said yeah, you talk Southern, but you still talk different. They said everybody meets me that's not from here say that I sound different than anybody around here. Because I'm like Southern and daggone hood and hillbilly and gangster.
So you're
like all wrapped into one.
You're Southern hillbilly gangster hood. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's right. I'm a social butterfly. That's what I'm trying to say.
There you go. I used to tell people I don't have an accent. What are you talking about? You have the accent.
Yeah, you have that. You got that accent. Not me.
I try not to. At one point, I would purposely try not to speak with an accent. I would try to speak more clearly and not have those enunciations on some words, like right and stuff like that,
Yeah, right.
So I would try my best not to do that. And then I would just get comfortable with who I'm talking to. And all of a sudden, it'll all come back out. You'll start hearing it again, and you can't escape.
My wife says the buoys. Go tell them buoys. We ain't got buoys. No, it's 15 minutes to the lake, baby. What you talking about?
We're not out on the water today. I can't tell them buoys nothing.
Can't tell them buoys nothing.
Changed the oil in my car either.
Right. All right, back to it. We're gonna turn this into a 2-hour daggum episode, man. We're having fun on this one.
Laura Harris. Let's go to Laura Harris. She was in the TV miniseries It as the character Lonnie, but that's uncredited, so it must not have been a big part. Did a voice in My Little Ponytails.
But she was Bright Eyes, and Bright Eyes is the main character, dude.
Yeah. Well,
Bright Eyes is probably the only one that anybody knows the actual name of.
But you know what? That was probably just one season that was out, and she did all 13 episodes, probably. So.
Guaranteed.
Highlander for an episode, Mantis for an episode. A lot of
one episode of Highlander gets you credit, as far as I'm concerned. You're in the club.
She's not a McLeod of the Clan McLeod or anything, but
No.
Let's see. Where do we know her from?
Oh,
other than The Faculty, do you remember her from anything else?
Baby, I love you. Susie Q.
14 episodes of 24.
Oh, no, that was one episode. Suicide Kings for sure. Yep.
24 episodes of Dead Like Me TV series.
Suicide Kings is the one where that was the 90s. We can do it. So Suicide Kings was the one that had Jay Marr. It started Jay Marr doing his Christopher Walken impression. They kidnapped Christopher Walken and had him duct taped in a chair and was trying to, I think they're trying to extort money from him, but then they're going to make it look like a suicide, and they botched it. It's a good one. But yeah, probably The Faculty, The Calling.
Not really a whole lot on her, really.
Her from. She's been in quite a few things, but I don't recall her. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think I would watch a movie unless I watched it like within the next week and go, "Hey, that was the girl. That was Mary Beth from."
That's the girl that walked around naked at the end of the movie. That's how people remember her.
Mm-hmm. Which is probably, I feel like during that point in time, the only time that particular thing helped your career is if you were already going. You know what I mean? Like if you were already kind of known. I feel like the 90s is where getting naked on film didn't really help your career anymore. You know what I mean? I feel like that was the 80s.
Yeah. And then we got, since there's not much to do with her, Jump to the next one here, and Josh Hartnett. Josh
Now, there's
Hartnett.
a lot with Josh.
Yeah, a lot of Josh Hartnett things that we do know. Do you know
Zeke.
what his heritage is?
His heritage.
Yeah, his heritage. Take a guess where you think his family's from, his mother and his father.
Ireland.
By thinking of him, just looking at him,
I would think he's Irish.
his father is of Irish and German descent.
Bang. There you go.
His mother is of Swedish and Norwegian ancestry.
There you go. Well, we're except for the Russian and Jewish that you throw in there on my grandpa's side and the Native American on my paternal grandmother's side. There you go. We might even be related somewhere way back.
Never know.
My family's my paternal family, my linear paternal. So that means my dad's, the Rollins name, is from as far back as I could trace it was to County Meath, Ireland. And I mean, it's just well known that most of the Irish came from Norway. You know what I mean? Like, it's all kind of that Norse.
Look, your great grandfather could be neighbors to his.
Could have been. Was that 10? Because that was almost perfect.
I don't know.
My 9th and 10th removed. So my 9 and 10 great grandfathers are the ones that came over on the boat, and my 10th time removed grandfather died on the ship on the way to America.
I just threw it out there. I don't know.
That was pretty good.
I did try.
You can tell we've been doing this for a while. We can tell we've been knowing each other for what? Like, oh, dang, boy, it's been my son. So that's before I had my son when we started doing the EFED stuff. And daggum, he's 13. So it's been like 15 years we've been knowing each other now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quite a while.
That's crazy, dude.
I've had to put up with him people for 15 years.
15 years he's been putting up with me.
15 long years.
Y'all, I used to go Chris into written rap battles.
Listen, he bought me a coffee
he
cup.
He was pretty good at it.
I was. Listen, he bought me a coffee cup 15 years ago, and he still hasn't mailed it yet.
I just found it this weekend when I was going to camping or going out on the boat. I was like looking through stuff. I was like, there's Chris's coffee cup. I almost set it on the kitchen table with a note on it. Mail this.
I got to give you some grief every now and then.
I know. I told her, I said, we have to mail this to Chris before Christmas. This is bullshit.
Listen,
you had to beat me on that one.
What's your favorite Josh Hartnett movie?
Oh my God. Really?
And you can't say The Faculty because we're talking about The Faculty. So, I mean,
I wouldn't. Dude, honestly, honest to God, that's kind of a hard one, man, because I like a lot of stuff he's in. I wouldn't go for Sin City just because I feel like he was in there, but it wasn't enough for me.
Right.
But aside from the things that like he's known for the teen stuff, man, like I'll have to go towards stuff like Pearl Harbor and Black Hawk Down, and dude, like, I mean, 30 Days of Night. Like, it's hard for me to choose a Josh Hartnett movie, man. He was just some good stuff. I loved him in the Penny Dreadful TV show. He's, I might have to say Pearl Harbor. Wasn't that the one where he was the pilot?
Yeah, him and Ben Affleck were pilots in it.
I might have to go with Pearl Harbor.
Do you remember what his first movie was? His debut movie?
His debut. Either The Virgin Suicides or Halloween.
Halloween, H2O, 20 years later.
Heck yeah.
My favorite one of his, though, if I had to pick one, it's probably 30. What was it? Darn it, 40 days. No, I'm
40 days and 40 nights.
No. 30 Days of Night.
30 Days of Night. The vampire movie.
Yes. Now, 40 Days and 40 Nights was a funny movie for me. I liked it, but I mean, 30 Days of Night is the movie for him to like the most. And you know, this Faculty just really kind of, oh man, it just kind of, I mean, I don't want to say it set him off because Halloween H2O was a good movie for him. He played a pretty decent role in it. I think he was Jamie Lee Curtis.
I think the movie that he really gets the credit. The movie that gets the credit that I've heard people talk about, or I've heard in on the different media outlets was the Virgin Suicides. Was where everybody kind of really took notice of him.
Really?
By and large, I mean, it could be anything for us, but I think that the Virgin Suicides is the one that really got him.
Do you know where he really stood out to me the most? When I first really, really knew who he was?
Where?
It was Pearl Harbor that you mentioned earlier.
Pearl Harbor, yeah. That's why I think it's my favorite. I feel like it's his best piece of acting.
Yeah, and it's got some great sequences in it. Good story between him and Ben Affleck's character.
But a bunch of them, like I said, man, Black Hawk Down was good. Sin City, Wicker Park was good. Lucky Number 11. Oh my God! If you had that one was so good, I forgot all about that one. Lucky Number 11 is good too, and he was Slevin. That might be my. That was a good one too. And I think he was the one of the investigators, or he was the investigator on the Black Dahlia murders, or the Black Dahlia, or whatever it was. He was in some good stuff, man. But I don't think you can go wrong with 30 Days a Night or Pearl Harbor.
No, not at all. Not at all. Jumping on down the line here, Salma Hayek. Wow.
You know what?
That's the one word I can use to describe that woman right there is just wow.
Just wow. And I have two things that jump through my brain immediately. It's either going to be the scene where she comes out as the queen vampire in
Dusk Till Dawn.
Dusk Till Dawn, or it's going to be Jay and Silent Bob when she's doing the little striptease and Candy Girl.
I don't know what year it was. I'm trying to find out now.
Mm-hmm.
But she had something that was kind of later in her career that a lot of people took notice of and talked about. She had a dance with Channing Tatum in one of those Magic Mike movies.
She did, yes.
And a lot of people say that is probably one of her. I don't know, man. That thing with that dance in Dusk Till Dawn she did was probably kind of a hot scene she did.
Oh, dude, if we're going with hot, we got to go with Desperado, man.
I know. I mean, you there's so much to talk about with her if you're going to go that direction with it.
Yeah, I mean Frida. So she played Frida, and Frida was like, she was in South America. I don't recall, and I really don't want to try to go too far into it and get it wrong, because when you talk about Frida, she was like, as far as South American culture is concerned, she was like, for women, kind of like a Che Guevara or something, not like a guerrilla warfare person, but she was really involved in women's rights and things in South America during a time where that wasn't cool. And she was also bisexual. And Frida, she's very, very, maybe Chega is the wrong analogy, but she's just really prominent and really well thought of and did a lot for women's rights. But she played Frida. And Frida, even though Frida was a beautiful woman in real life, you say this about a lot of people. I mean, I don't think a lot of people's opinion is that it's not easy to hold up to Salma Hayek, but they gave her a unibrow because Frida had a unibrow. And like we said, if you go on that route, she's got those kinds of scenes in that movie too. And it's like, even with the big bushy unibrow, it's like, ooh.
Gosh, she's been in a ton of things though. I mean, now you talked about Desperado. You got to follow up Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
Spy Kids 3, Game Over. You mentioned Frida.
Yeah.
Fair Game. Fools, Wild Wild West.
Fair Game with Cindy Crawford.
Dogma.
Yes, Dogma. Yes, she was Serendipity in Dogma.
Fools Rush In.
Mm-hmm.
With Matthew.
Wild Wild West. Because that was like, remember on the train, she walked away and the flap on the unisuit was down?
Yeah.
All the kids were like, thank you. Because they didn't know about Desperado. But wasn't she the mom or something? She was a bad woman. She's bad. No, I don't remember. She was in one of the Spy Kid movies.
Yeah, Spy Kids 3. I mentioned that a moment ago.
Oh, okay. Uh, Banditas, Ugly Betty. She did some of that on TV. Of course, she was in Grown Ups. She played Madame Truska in Cirque du Freak, the Vampire's Assistant. If any of you guys do audiobooks, I wish they'd make more of those movies because that first Cirque du Freak movie was awesome. But if you start reading the books, or I do, because I don't get to read like I used to because I'm so busy. Chris will tell you, and most of the people that know me and Tasha tell us all the time we're the busiest people they know. We're the busiest people we know too.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, yeah, those books are amazing. The whole Cirque du Freak movie is just basically the first book. There's like 7 books in that series, and the Cirque du Freak it's it's supposed to be, I guess, aimed at kids, but it's super dark, and it is just a great, great book series. And she was also in Puss in Boots. So yeah. she came back and did another one with Antonio and Puss in Boots. Oh, y'all know Selma, man. Everybody knows Selma Hayek. Everly. She does all kind of stuff. So she was the voice of Teresa in Sausage Party.
She was only in this movie though as a favor to the director.
Oh, really?
Robert Rodriguez.
Oh,
which she had worked with previously. And Dusk Till Dawn and Desperado.
Yep, Robert Rodriguez. Yep.
So
she also, if y'all don't know, she also adopted Ryan Reynolds in The Hitman's Bodyguard. If you haven't seen The Hitman's Bodyguard, that movie is there's 2 of them. Those movies are awesome.
There's a fun story about Selma Hayek. There is an actor.
Did Danny Trejo?
Yes.
Tell him.
Yes. Danny Trejo has a tattoo on his chest of her entire face and head, her likeness of her, and showed it to her. And I guess she was kind of flattered, but yet kind of freaked out
because
Danny Trejo
he was fresh out of San Quentin when he showed it to her.
Right.
So everybody knows, like, hey, this is a real life, like, gangster mobster straight out of San Quentin, one of the hardest, or probably the hardest prison in the country at the time, and he's on set. So he's like, hey, to hear y'all go look that up on YouTube. Danny tells it great.
Yeah, he tells it the best. You really got to listen to him tell the thing, but definitely look it up. I'm not going to go over a lot more people in here. We're just going to touch on a few people because we're already 42 minutes in. But Famke Janssen, we've covered her several times in the past few weeks anyway. So
yeah. Okay, so we'll give you this then. Okay, so I found out because I felt like she may be like Charlize Theron, or Theron, how everybody's been trying to pronounce it, and we always get it wrong. And she said it's actually throne, like something you sit on.
Yeah.
So Famke Janssen is Dutch. She is Dutch, her lineage, and the Dutch pronunciation is Famke Janssen, but the English pronunciation, which is accepted, is still Famke, but it's not Janssen. The J has a Y still; it retains the Y sound, so it's Famke Janssen or Janssen, actually Janssen.
I can see that.
Famke Janssen. So I was like, okay, I thought that was a neat thing.
We learn something new all the time. It's like,
and we love her so much that from now on, I'm going to pronounce her name right.
Right. It's like the girl from Elm Street. We were calling her Amanda Weiss for the longest, right?
Yep.
And come to find out, her last name is pronounced Wiss.
Wiss. Okay.
Yeah, Wiss. That was straight from Diane Franklin.
Like Rachel Wise, her name looks like it would be Weiss or Weiss or something, but it's actually Wise from Mummy fame.
Yeah. Piper Laurie played Mrs. Olsen. She was was she the principal or?
No, she was the old lady. I don't know. She might have been the librarian. I don't know. For a while there, when you first watch the movie, you think because you're like, okay, they're going to throw a twist on us, and or at least I did. I thought that she was going to be the queen alien there for a good little while.
Yeah. And I forgot BB Newworth was the principal. I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah.
BB Newworth being of Cheers fame, of course. You mentioned her earlier. Christopher McDonald as several things. He's been in Happy Gilmore. He's been in Breaking. He's been around in quite a few movies.
And we hit a lot of. We've probably done 5 or 6 that he's been in too. He's in. He's one of them too that does. He always does like a side character too. It's almost like a cameo, and sometimes more than a cameo. But you like,
well, I mean, right?
One of his faces, maybe I don't know what it is, but you always know him, and he always brings something with him to the role.
He was in Thelma and Louise also in the quiz show.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's like you say, he's kind of maybe not a star in everything that he's in, but you definitely remember that he was in it.
Or not so much a star, but a lead man.
Right, not really a lead man. But you still remember him being in it, though, usually most of the time.
Yeah, he was Todd in The Perfect Storm, about the boat.
Yeah.
Which falls right outside our timeline. That's a good one, too, though. Y'all should go watch that one, too.
Eventually, we'll get there, right?
Yeah, man. We only got a couple more years.
He doesn't. Just a few more years.
Yeah, we got to wait for it to be retro. It's got to be classic. It's got to be 30 years ago or 20 years ago.
At least 20 years ago.
Yeah, at least 20 years ago.
Yeah, at least. So
then you got Robert Patrick. I think he's still working. He's doing Tulsa King right now, isn't he?
He might be in Tulsa King. I know he was recently in Reacher, in that series of Reacher.
Yep.
He was in that for sure. Terminator.
But he will also he'll always be T-2000 to me.
Right, but and a lot of people remember him from X-Files too, though.
Yeah, for sure.
The whole Mulder thing wasn't going on. You had him
behind the original Behind Enemy Lines.
Fire in the Sky.
Yeah,
he was in the first Marine movie with John Cena. Although you couldn't see John Cena. Yes, so he's in Tulsa King also. By the way,
and in '87 he did 2 movies where he played the same recurring character. He did Corporal Johnny Ransom and Eye of the Eagle, which I haven't seen, but I have seen Behind Enemy Lines. Him as Johnny Ransom, and he was O'Reilly in Die Hard 2.
What was the first one with the Eagle?
Eye of the Eagle.
Eye of the Eagle. Okay.
Yep. And he started out in War. So Equalizer 2000 was his first one. He played Deke. I'm going to go back and watch these. He's got them good 80s movies covers, boy. He's got these daggum them apocalyptic action movies. Oh, yeah. That is definitely my dude. That looks like my jam right there, boy. That looks like some Death Race 2000 on the pictures.
What, Equalizer?
Hey, it's got 2000? Richard Norton in it. Richard Norton plays Slade. Wasn't he the one we missed? He left us before we got to interview him.
Unfortunately, yes, he passed away. Though.
Oh, well, I definitely got to go watch this now.
You're talking Equalizer 2000?
Yeah.
Okay, making sure.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, that looks like total 80s cheese right there, dude. That's post-apocalyptic Mad Max Death Race 2000. Yeah, totally. I might have to go watch that tonight.
Do you remember him from Double Dragon? Kogashuko? Or Kogashuko?
I don't.
You don't? He was a bad guy. He had white hair.
Oh, Richard Norton.
No.
That Robert Patrick?
Yes.
Was he Was he?
Yes.
I don't remember that. I'm trying to picture him in my head and I can't remember it. Huh.
Look it up on YouTube when we get done. Yeah, you'll see him.
What's funny is this
I believe his hair is white.
That's right, because he's not the T-2000, he's the T-1000 because Arnold was T-800. But anyway, I think it's funny too that right after Terminator, he played the bad cop in Wayne's World, and he was dressed just like he was with the silver glasses and everything.
Elijah Wood, we know him really. What the majority of us nerds know Elijah Wood for is Frodo Baggins in the Lord of the Rings series, and big thing for most of us. He was also in Deep Impact. He was also in Sin City.
Free Willy.
So
now was he in the Warriors, or was that other kid that reminds you of him? I don't remember.
That's gotta be somebody that reminds you. He'd been too young for the Warriors.
Okay. No, not that one. Not the Warriors. Not that one. The one with the kangaroos. Warriors of Virtue.
Oh gosh, I don't know. I don't recognize that one.
I remember him as being the kid that got the kiss from Paula Abdul in the Forever Your Girl music video. I hated his guts from day one.
God,
He was also in the Straight Up video too.
Yeah, I had forgotten about that. You were so right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, speaking of just off topic,
And
for
he
a
was
quick
one of the
moment.
kids playing the video games in Back to the Future.
Yes, he was. The one where he goes and he plays the one where he's shooting on the cowboy shooting and everything. He says, you know, that requires too much work or something like that. That's lame. He preferred the kind of games they had at the time.
And we did this
different.
one not long ago. I'm glad my wife watched it with me. She loved it, and I think you liked it too. Was Forever Young,
Yes.
where Mel Gibson got frozen in cryogenics.
Yeah, good movie.
Andy was Huck Finn, and something I do not recommend is to download the version of Huck Finn, the Tom Sawyer. No, it's the Huck Finn story. Since he played Huck Finn, he narrated the Huck Finn book, and they did not omit or update anything from Mark Twain's literature. And hearing Frodo Baggins saying the N-word that many times is really awkward.
Very, I'm sure it is very awkward. Yes.
Yeah, because you remember Jim's name had a different.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't just Jim.
Right.
Not cool, man.
Not cool.
He was in The Good Son too.
He was in The Good Son.
Macaulay Culkin tried to kill him.
All right, so we got Jon Stewart, best known for The Daily Show, I believe.
Absolutely.
If we're getting down to most anything.
And Sonny, and wait a minute, he was Frankenstein's dad too.
I no idea what you're talking about.
Yep, yes you do. He was Frankenstein's dad. But Sonny, I wipe my own ass. Big Daddy.
Oh,
Adam Sandler, Big Daddy.
Yeah. Okay.
What you want to eat? Hey, Frankenstein, what you want to eat? 30 packs of ketchup. You heard the man.
Yeah. You heard the man. Took him up. And then last but not least, I'm gonna throw out there that is Usher. He's just mainly known for his music. But Usher was also in was it Texas Rangers?
Mm-hmm.
Which was a good movie.
Usher can act, man. He does all right. He's
remember
been in a few things I think that I've seen him in.
And let's just say for a giggle, if you want to see if you want to see something funny, go to IMDb, look at the cast of this movie, scroll to the bottom, and look at Summer Phoenix and John Abrahams to see their roles in the movie. If you've watched the movie first, and then go look at it, you'll get a laugh out of it. Trust me.
Yes, because it makes perfect sense. Then
it makes perfect sense, and you'll get a kick out of it for sure. Oh my gosh! The box office, real quick. December 25th, 1998, is released on Christmas Day. Budgeted around 15 million, made 40.3 million worldwide. Critics were mixed about it. Many praised its cast and energy, but found it derivative of other teen horror hits. Audiences, however, embraced it for its cool mix of sci-fi and high school drama.
And one of the things I said too, I know we're going to have to wrap it up soon. We didn't get to a lot of cool things and a lot of cool things about the movie either. We didn't get to our normal question and stuff. But I think I've had fun. This episode has been a lot of fun for me just because we've been off the rails and cutting up and having fun. But that we didn't get to one of the main things about Josh Hartnett's character. It's crucial to the whole arc of the story is that he is nearly a dropout. It almost seems like he's failing class on purpose. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's his second year as a senior, but he's a genius, really. And he does chemicals and stuff. Well, he's making, what did they call it? I forgot what he called it. But he basically
I can't remember what he calls it, but it's guaranteed to jack you up.
Yeah, it's basically making speed, and he's putting it inside these clear pens, so it looks like you're just holding a pen. But when I put that too, when they snorted the whole pen, I'm like, God, that's a rail right there, boy. Like you wouldn't do that with the stuff I was doing.
Tweak, tweak,
tweak, tweak. But yeah. But what I was going to say too, though, that's an overarching part of the story. He's a drug dealer, basically, but it's like legal drugs because he's using he's using caffeine pills to make it. You find out later, he's basically just crushing up caffeine pills and selling people caffeine.
Right.
And but anyway, caffeine is a diuretic, so that goes back into the aquatic thing. But what I was going to say is we chose the movies that we chose, and I guess we'll do the wheel again for the next one. I don't know. We might have some extenuating circumstances. We don't know if our plan is going to go as planned. But what we're trying to do this month is, I think, I don't remember if it was on air or not, but Chris and I were talking, and I told him that I felt like that the 90s for horror was kind of a rebirth because it started that kind of teenage. I don't know. I feel like these movies deserve their own genre. It's kind of like a teenage, not angst, but it's just geared more toward teenagers, like R.L. Stine type stuff. Like this movie and The Faculty and Scream, and I Know What You Did Last Summer, and like these horror movies like this are a whole different feel. It's almost I told my wife, I said, this to me, this could also almost be classified as a sci-fi horror, almost, except for it doesn't have the intergalactic stuff. But it's not really, I don't think of it as a slasher horror or a thriller, it's definitely a horror movie. But at the same time, this group of movies that we're focusing on this month, just to me, have a different feel, and it started a whole new class of horror. I feel like I would even throw Final Destination in there with this, So I feel like this month's going to be real cool. These movies are going to be a lot of fun, and I'll try better not to derail us next time before we run out of time. But
he's lying. He derails us every single week.
Every single week. So let's get a couple of those good ones that we do in here. Do you feel I'm gonna reverse the roles again? And hold
on. Before you go to a question, I want to put one fun fact out here because it's an important fun fact to me because
I like it.
Lord of the Rings overtook any movie trilogy ever that I love, being Star Wars or whatever.
Yeah.
Between Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, each one being a trilogy.
Yes.
It was on the set of this film that Harry J. Knowles first got wind of Peter Jackson making The Lord of the Rings into a movie. He urged Elijah Wood to go for it, even though the actor had never read the book, which Wood duly did, ignoring the news that Jackson was largely only casting British actors and videotaped his own audition.
I'm glad you forced that fact upon us. Because anything LOTR, I'm down with. And as everyone should know, if you don't, you do now. We're loader nerds, man. And to me, as far as I'm concerned, J.R.R. Tolkien is the godfather of fantasy literature, period. Or the father of it, not even godfather. I feel like after Tolkien, everything is borrowing or influenced by Tolkien.
But whatever you do not mention the Travis. The Rings of Power. Don't mention the Rings of Power.
I thought you were going to say the Silver Surfer.
No, don't mention the Rings of Power.
Yeah, the Rings of Power is stupid.
I like it. Don't mention it to him.
Disrespectful. I'm not going to say it's not well done for what it is, but I really wish that they would at least call it a reimagining or a reinterpretation.
We get Tom Bombadil. Come on, we get Tom Bombadil.
That's cool. That's cool.
Anyway, what'd you have? You had a question, I believe.
Yeah, okay, I wanted to go. Maybe if we can slide them in real quick. I wanted to see if you felt like this movie in particular brought anything. I know you're not a horror fan, but if this movie, did you feel like this movie brought anything to or added to or was part of that kind of, like I said, shift in the horror scene? Or do you feel like it was pretty much Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer?
This movie, I don't think it was Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer. No, because it's more of a sci-fi horror movie to me than it is anything else. But it does go right along with them hand in hand by being a mostly teen cast as far as who the stars were, the ones that carried the film.
Did you feel like it? But what I meant was, like, do you feel like it was innovative, or if there's anything that brought something new to the feel of the horror movie scene at the time?
I don't know if it brought anything new to the scene, in my opinion. I mean, because anytime you go back and you look at sci-fi horror stuff, it's some kind of creature from outer space or some kind of unknown creature that's taking over the scene or something, and you've got someone there to stop it. It doesn't remind me of anything much different from it, but
I feel you. So I
not
felt
in my
like, and
opinion.
it may be the, while it's not that big of an age gap between you and I, it still is culturally because, anytime you got about a 5 to 10 year age gap, there is a little bit of differences on how we view things because you did have a little bit of extra time with Daisy Duke than I did. You know what I mean? So
Yeehaw.
you and Ray, but for me, I felt like this movie was one of the ones that really, because I'm around that age. I'm a high school kid when this comes out. I feel like this was a legit horror movie made for me and my people, made for us, our age group. But it was legitimate. It wasn't kiddie style. So I felt like it bring that. So what was your favorite part of the film?
Oh man, I think the scene where they're forcing each other to take the drug to find out who amongst them, if anybody, is alien or if they're real, if they're human still.
Yeah.
And the reason why I like that is because it's a turning point in the movie
Mm-hmm.
where where you think you finally got something figured out now, and then you find out later that you don't have it figured out.
And I think it
Um,
was the first time that you saw a real cool effect that the alien had on the person,
yeah,
like that, like
right. The way her face has got the things moving under
crawling
her
through their
skin.
face. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so they're making everybody take a hit of one of those pins that Josh Hartnett's character has of the drugs he does
Don't tell them who
because
did it though. Don't tell them
well,
who it
I'm
actually
not. I'm
turned
just
out
gonna
to
say
be.
that they
Yeah.
find out that drug will actually kill the aquatic parasite taking over the body of the person.
Because
So
it's a
they
diuretic and then it's an aquatic creature. It dries. It's like pouring salt on a slug.
right. So they pretty much had this thing where everybody has to take the hit, and
He's
you think
tweaking, man. Let him
you
tweak.
tweak it, tweak 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 tweak. You think you've got it figured out at this point, but then I'd say a good 20 minutes later, 25 minutes later, you realize that you didn't have it figured out. So
Yeah.
um, just watch the movie, you'll see what we're talking about. But I think that's my favorite. And then my favorite line in the movie, my favorite moment is right there at the end where um little Frodo, what's his name in the movie? I can't remember.
Oh, I I don't either. I wanted to say Sam. But
Samwise Gamgee?
Sam was Genji. Uh,
Casey.
Casey.
When
It's
Casey
Casey,
is
Zeke, Mary Beth, Delilah, Stokely, and Stan.
Casey is trapping the monster behind the bleachers of the gym,
That was
and
cool too. That
that
was
was
cool too
cool.
because we really did not back then. We really did not have safety features like if you got there was kids that's actually gotten trapped in behind. It was
Yes,
hollow. It wouldn't squish you, but the monster was big enough to get squished.
right,
You could,
exactly. And then he
but
has that
we didn't have
one.
the
He's
safety
got
feature
that
that would
one
have made it
pin.
lock and come back out. Like when them first automatic ones do, they'd close up
r-
on you. But
Right. Now he's got that one pin left with him, and the monster can't quite reach out to him. But he looks at it and he says, "Guaranteed to jack you up." And he
yeah.
goes to it. He stabs the thing and right in the eye. As soon as he does
Oh,
it,
what about when it blurted? It like threw up the parasites
that's
in
what
his
I'm getting
face.
at. Is as soon as he stabbed him with the pen, it shot things out of his face and was taking him over. And the whole theory was if you kill
Queen.
the queen, then the rest of them turn back normal.
Yeah, so it's
And
like a hive. They came off of the queen's consciousness or whatever.
right, so it eventually worked out for him and everything. But it was
That was a
very
wicked part. That was a wicked part too. I was going to say that I agreed with you, and when I first watched the movie, I would still agree with you but I think that might have been my favorite scene because that part, watching it today, I was like, damn, because that was pretty gross. Those things
it
were like
was.
stuck in his face and
I
wiggling. It
know.
was like, oh my god, dude. So the
Yep.
special effects actually are still pretty good today, I would say, because that part kind of was like, oh. And when you get to see that, like, so these things too have tentacles. So when you get to see
Yes.
the tentacles like moving under their skin and stuff too, that was pretty good, boy.
Definitely. What was your favorite part?
That's what I'm saying. Probably that. But I
Oh,
would
that's
say
really
I would probably agree with you. Because like you said, the shift in the movie, that's I would have to agree with you. I probably think that might have been one of my favorite parts. And then I think the end of it, the ending showing the resolution where everybody, the unlikely pairings got together and, stuff like that. Actually, okay, I'm gonna switch it up. I know we're going way over. Well, we're not way over yet, but anyway, I think my favorite part, honestly, even though it was brutal, but you could tell that Josh Hartnett's character, Zeke, didn't like doing it. When Famke was, I don't remember her name, Miss whatever, when she came out to his car, because that was something. So that's something I did want to touch on that I missed, was the way she played that shy.
That was Miss Burke.
Miss Burke. Her character, Miss Burke, before she got took over by aliens, played shy, nervous, timid. She did that so well, and then she turned into her normal evil looking set. She can give you that bitchy evil eye. So, but when she walked out to his car and he was offering her, what was it? He offered her a laxative first,
right?
And then he put out condoms, like, maybe you need some of these. And she was like, so disrespectful. She got so upset. You know what I mean? She's like, so disrespectful. And it was really because their interaction there kind of reminded me of me and mostly my English teacher, Miss Whitmire, was that, the sexual tension aside, of course, sadly, the way that she was showing that she really cared about him, that he was wasting himself doing what he was doing. He was wasting his mind. And I had a couple of teachers that really kind of came at me the same way, but him doing that back to her, I think that was my favorite part. Even though it was like, you felt bad for her because she was like so disrespectful. It was disrespectful, man. He was making her real uncomfortable.
When the parasite had taken her over, she tells him she sees him peddling that stuff again. She'll put her foot so far up his butt that he'd be sucking her toes until I forget what age she said. But it was something funny though. So, all right. Well, we about to wrap it up now.
Yes.
Well,
my bad.
Well, no, I mean, we're good. We're good. Let's go ahead and just throw it out there. Our social medias you'll find us on Facebook and you'll find us on Instagram. We also are on YouTube, where we've been getting quite a bit of shorts out there here recently for people to check out. And the shorts are actually doing fairly well. I just put one out there today that got, I want to say day one, it went out and had 1,100 hits on it. Which is kind of unusual, but I mean, because we weren't getting but a couple hundred at the most, and every now and then you'll get one that shoots up a little bit more. Now that's nothing to brag about. There's people getting millions of views, but I mean,
if we getting millions of views, we still wouldn't brag. We're just doing this for us, and anyway, too. This is just good therapy, and if y'all enjoy it, we love it. We would like to have 1 million listeners, but we'll take, we're happy to have any. Our normal 17. We're happy to have the
all two of you that listen 8 times a piece.
Yeah.
But because that's 16 right there, right?
Yeah.
I got my education. I know my maths.
I can cipher.
I take off my shoes and count to 20.
That's right.
So anyway, but check us out there. We have a website, Retro Life for You. .com, but it's retrolife, the number 4 letter U.com. When you go to YouTube, just youtube.com /@retrolife for You, it'll take you straight to the homepage for YouTube for us there, all our videos and shorts and stuff as well. And then let's see if you have any questions, criticisms, comments, anything you want to get in touch with us for, you can email us at retrolifeforyou@gmail.com as well.
Or if you would like to come on and guest spot, we'd love to have you. Come sit in for a show.
It's quite possible we could find a place to put you a time or two or something. You never can tell. So, well, all right. So go ahead and wrapping things up. As far as the faculty goes, where did my closing script go?
Uh-oh. Don't tell them you use a script.
I use a script. That's not my words. That's not my words at the beginning that Travis interrupts all the time. I read it off of a screen.
But they are your words because you prepared it. We're just trying to be a little more better.
A little more better.
We trying to improve. We always trying to get better.
So there you have it, Travis. The Faculty, a late '90s sci-fi horror flick that proved high school was already scary enough even before the aliens showed up. It wasn't just another teen horror movie. It was a clever mix of paranoia, pop culture, and pure Kevin Williamson attitude. A mashup of Invasion of the Body Snatchers meets The Breakfast Club, filtered through Robert Rodriguez's chaotic, fast cut style. The critics didn't fully get it back in '98, but over time it's found its audience. The cast went on to define an entire era of early 2000 cinema, and the soundtrack still slaps, and the movie's self aware edge feels right at home with the best of the post Scream wave. See, I told you I didn't write this stuff. When do I use the word slaps for anything? When do I use that word? I don't.
Right. And I thought it was really cool. I thought it was really cool that my wife mentioned the Breakfast Club and I said it reminded us of the Breakfast, reminded me and her of that.
And there it is right there.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's one of those films that captures the feelings of the late 90s when the teen movies were smart, sarcastic, and just a little too cool for their own good. So whether you watched it in theaters back in '98 or you found it later on VHS in your local video store, The Faculty reminds us all of one thing. Sometimes the weirdest part of growing up isn't puberty. It's realizing the adults might actually be the monsters.
Ooh. Yeah.
Speaking of scary, here we go. Here we go. Speaking of scary, Travis, do you have anything for us in closing today?
Yeah, I was thinking about this, man, when I was watching this movie and they started doing the Queen. How is it that all the aliens that are running around taking over these civilizations, Predator hadn't done it yet, but everybody's got a queen that's always jumping around from planet to planet. You know what I mean? Like they're just visiting all these planets trying to take over. You know what I call her ship?
What?
The UFO.
Ba-dum-bum.